I found a hotel that looks like Willy Wonka designed it on an acid trip, and of course, I had to stay the night. I've stayed in some weird places before. Capsule hotels in Tokyo, floating tiny homes in Latvia. I even stayed in the worst hotel in the world. But I've never stayed inside a building that looks like SpongeBob meets Salvador Dalí in a fever dream. Welcome to Hotel Galéria. Built by an eccentric artist who wanted to inspire guests through colour, art, and borderline insanity, it's been called everything from a psychedelic temple to the ugliest building in Europe, and I'm here to find out which it is. The minute you walk in, you feel like you're not in a hotel, you're in someone's brain. A very colourful, slightly chaotic brain. Then you meet the manager and discover that customer service isn't an important aspect of the Hotel Galleria experience. Conversation is minimal, and you feel like an inconvenience for being there. But the other thing you notice is that it's filthy. There's a grimy feel about everything. Old paintbrushes sitting about, half-drunk drinks left on tables, and an indescribable smell made from a mix of paint fumes and mould. As we were shown to our room, we were told that each room is themed, and not just aesthetically, they're designed to change your life. Yeah, I was skeptical too. Okay, so, sorry, it's a couple of hours later. We got here really late, and we had some stuff booked to go and do. So I haven't actually had a chance to look around the place, but this is the apartment. Now, every room has a theme and a purpose, apparently. And apparently artists come here to unblock their minds. Now, from looking around, I feel like I could either end up writing a novel or ending up in the psych ward. It's absolutely overwhelming. There's so many colors going on. There's so many paintings. There's just so much. There's four balconies. One of them you can't actually get onto because the door's locked. But I will show you the other ones in a bit. Then we've got like just weirdly shaped windows everywhere. Nothing is nothing's really symmetrical and nothing really matches anything. It's just mad. But I'm going to show you around, and we'll get the vibe of this place together because I've only really seen this room. But it has a second floor, which is different to most hotels. I suppose because it is called the apartment. I don't know where the light switch is. Okay, the lights don't actually work in here. So I guess I'll have to show you that room in the morning. Then there's the balcony here. This is the top floor balcony with a beautiful view of Bratislava, but mainly the train station. We do have some nice views further off in the distance. Take you back into the dark now, and we'll go downstairs and check it out more. And this is the living room. And there's a couple of different sofa beds. There is a TV. There's a little desk, and then there's these cupboards that are broken. It's a bit of a theme here. There's just lots of broken stuff. I haven't been here for that long, and yet I've tried several things, and they've all been broken, or they've been filthy. The windowsills are filthy, and there's just lots of grime. I'm gonna have a bit more of a look round, and then I'll review the place properly. But I'll show you the bathroom because it's definitely unique, in that it's completely mad. I mean, this wall even has like a little indent. It's got just pattern everywhere. Really shit shower. It's one of those ones you've got to hold. Hadn't seen that before, but there's like used toothpaste cups with toothpaste around the rim. I don't know if the camera could even pick that up, but it's pretty gross. Ah, we've got an insanely moldy bin, which is lovely. That's just fantastic. This place really just doesn't seem to get cleaned. That's really the vibe I'm getting. Now, one weird thing is we've got a fridge in the bathroom. There's no other homeware. There's no cooker. There's no kettle. There's nothing like that. But there's a fridge in the bathroom. Um, just here. Oh, for fuck's sake! There's. That stinks. That really stinks. I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know when that's from, but there is just a moldy sandwich in the fridge in the bathroom of this apartment in a hotel. This place is fucking weird. Um, I think I've seen enough to give you a solid review. Okay, so the Hotel Galleria has been described as many things. It's been described as the ugliest building in Europe, and I don't necessarily know if that's true. It's got a bit of quirk. Let's say that it's definitely different and it's definitely strange, but I don't necessarily know if that makes it ugly. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, they say. Um, the beholder of this place is filthy. That I will say. It might not be the ugliest building in Europe, but it might be the dirtiest. A couple of months ago, I stayed in the quote unquote worst hotel in Europe. I don't know who reviewed that, but they haven't been here because this is 100 times worse. The Hansbrinker was clean. This doesn't have that. This place is filthy. Even as I'm looking at this table in front of me, this table has not been cleaned since the last guests were here. Oh my god. I shit you not, someone has rolled a doob on this table that was last here, and it hasn't even been cleaned. There are crumbs of weed on the table. This place isn't that cheap, right? It's not luxury, but in terms of like budget European travel, it sits sort of somewhere in the middle. I think this place cost us 60 quid for the night, and you don't get 60 quid's worth of value. Um, this is the type of place I don't want to take my shoes off and walk barefoot on the floor, which is, sort of a cornerstone of walking around a hotel room. Um, the bin is full of mold. Uh, the the fridge in the bathroom, I can't get over the smell of that because it was honestly rancid. And that's in the bathroom. Now, the lights in the bedroom don't even work, which, yes, is an inconvenience, but it's also like a safety issue. We have to go upstairs to get to the bedroom, and it's pitch black. I know you'll say that you can just use your torch on your phone, but I don't expect to have to do that if I pay for a hotel room. I also don't expect to go out onto the balcony and for the ashtray to be filled. And we're not talking filled from the last guests, oh, it's forgotten to be empty. We're talking 3 months worth of fags in the ashtray just on the balcony. And that's just one of the balconies. They've all got the same. You really do get the vibe that, like, all they do for the next guest is make the bed. I'm worried that they don't even change the sheets. And now that it's dark, I can't even really check. I'm gonna try my best because I'm actually considering going and getting my sheets and my duvet from the van and sleeping with those. Because it just, like, it really is filthy. And I didn't really want this video to just be me, like, slobbering about a hotel. That wasn't what this video was meant to be. That's what the Hans Brinker was meant to be. And that's not even what it was. Because it was actually decent. You know, it might have been a shit night's sleep because it was loud. But it was clean and it was comfortable. This is not either of those things. Like, it's not comfortable to even sit here when there's ants on the floor and there's cobwebs covering a lot of the surfaces, like round the end of the wardrobe and over the window sills and in about 20 places in the bathroom. It's just cobwebs. Like, this is really basic stuff. And I thought this video was sort of going to be about how unique this place was and how it's like a hippie artist squat, full of cool characters. It's actually not. Like, I don't know if he's the owner or the manager or whatever he is, but the guy that greeted us was pretty rude. Yeah, I know some people don't like to be filmed, but even off camera, he was just a bit rude. He was just a bit like, here's this, here's that, fuck off. Then it's not even clean. It's places like this that actually make you question why someone has a hotel. Because I thought this was going to be a completely different experience to the one that it is. Because the one that it is, I can't lie, is shit. And it's very annoying to have to say that because I thought this was going to be really cool. And I've just had a pretty shit week. I'm getting over a really bad sickness, and I didn't really want to be filming this video, but I'm on this trip where we've got deadlines and I had to. The train station's also insanely loud. That was terrifying. It sounded like someone screaming in the next room, but it's just the brakes of the train. Where was I? Yeah, I'm getting over this illness, and I didn't really want to be filming, but I've come here expecting to be wowed by how unique this place is and how cool it is. And I've actually just been wowed by how dirty it is and how uncomfortable that makes me feel. Um, yeah, if I had to review this place in one word, it would be filthy. But here we are. I guess I'll show you a bit more, and I'll try and make it as interesting as possible. But right now, I'm not very happy, and I'm sorry if that reflects in the video. But this place is shit. It really is shit. Um, so yeah, let's go show you around more of this hotel. I just want to show you how dirty this place really is because I don't want anyone to think I'm just over exaggerating. The amount of mold was dangerous and it stank. None of the surfaces had even been wiped. The cups in the bathroom were covered in toothpaste. The place really felt like it hadn't been cleaned in a long time. And don't even get me started on that fridge. The place was so dirty that I felt filthy when I left. Well, since there was no lights, I couldn't show you up here last night, but this is the bedroom. It's equally as weird as the rest of the place. We've got lots and lots and lots of little windows and no curtains that actually fit them, um, which is an odd choice. And then we have this railing that isn't really a railing, it's actually holding up this section of the floor that's just kind of been cut out, and propped up and held up back here with a big weight. Um, then we move over to the bed. Now, the bed actually was really comfy, but I think you'll see something quite odd. We've got a double bed and two different single bed covers. Um, I don't know why you need two different duvets on a double bed. Never mind them both being different and neither of them actually being clean. Um, I did check the bed for bed bugs. Um, Thankfully there weren't any. There are a lot of ants. There's a lot of ants on the floor. I suppose you can't really help that here. I think, I don't know. I'm trying to find like little bits of positivity for this place. Um, it's quite hard to do so. It's not. It's really not good. Um, it's really not what I thought it would be. I've showed you the dirt and the grime. The the bedroom's covered in black mold, which isn't safe. Um, the floor is covered in shit and dirt. Yeah, I I I don't know what I expected of this place, but this really isn't it. Um, Adding on to that, there's actually no hot water. It's just like a lukewarm trickle, which is class. You know, it's what you really want in a hotel, is just sort of slightly cold water. Um, yeah, I don't think I could give this place a rating out of five because it wouldn't even get one. Like there's no real redeeming quality. I tried to go downstairs last night and show off more of the hotel, and the owner actually told me off and said you're not allowed to take pictures in the hotel because all the art is for sale. Um, I mean, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of canvases all over the place, um, and apparently it's all for sale. So you're not allowed to take pictures. There's pictures of the place all over their website. There's pictures of the place all over Booking.com. Um, but he quickly shooed me away whenever I tried to take some photos of the art. Um, and then he gave me a leaflet about the place, uh, and it's all very confusing. I'm going to show you some of the leaflet now, and see if you can figure out what this place is about. Um, but I'm really glad that I'm checking out in about an hour because I mean there isn't a video here. The video here is how dirty it is, um, and how I wouldn't recommend anybody to stay here. They clearly don't use the money for cleaning. Um, I don't understand it. Um, if someone could enlighten me, that would be great. I am thankful to be leaving. Sounds like someone's doing cleaning. Better not. So, the Hotel Galleria. Would I stay there again? No. Would I recommend it to anybody? No. Will I always remember it? Yes. because sometimes the most memorable places, they aren't the prettiest. They're the filthy weird ones. I'll see you next week.